Have you ever wondered how a giant, messy pile of raw data actually gets turned into something useful? You know, those crystal clear insights that businesses use to make big decisions? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that whole process. We're taking a full end-to-end data engineering trip using a whole bunch of data from YouTube. And it all kicks off with this one simple question. What actually makes a YouTube video go viral? I mean, what's the magic formula? Is it the category, the title, the number of likes versus dislikes? The answer is hiding in the data. But first, we have to build a way to actually ask the question. And this isn't just for fun, right? Picture this. A client is about to drop some serious cash on a YouTube ad campaign. But before they do, they need to know where to aim their money. They need a real data-driven strategy. So our job? It's to solve this viral video puzzle for them. So here's the game plan. We need to take this mountain of raw data files, views, likes, comments, all of it, and build a system that turns all that chaos into something clean, organized, and ready for questions. Basically, we're building an insight factory. Okay, first things first. Where are we going to build this factory? Do we buy a bunch of servers and build our own data center from scratch, or do we use the cloud? This is one of the first and frankly most important decisions you make in any data project these days.
So here's the basic trade-off. On-premise is like buying a house. You own it all, but you're also on the hook for all the maintenance, the expensive upgrades, and you're paying for all that space even when you're not using it. The cloud, on the other hand, with a provider like AWS, is like renting. You get all the power you could ever need, you can scale up or down in minutes, and you only pay for exactly what you're using at that moment.
And really, the industry has already voted. A whopping 81% of enterprises are already using the cloud in a big way. So for a project like ours that needs to be fast, flexible, and cost-effective, yeah, the choice is a no-brainer. We're going to the cloud. Now that we've chosen the cloud as our home, it's time to start building. And the very first thing we need is something called a data lake. And you should think of it, well, exactly like a real lake. We're going to take all of our raw data in all its different formats and just pour it into one central spot, totally unfiltered in its natural state. And here's the slightly more official definition. A data lake is just a central place to store everything. Structured data, like a nice, neat spreadsheet, and unstructured data, like messy text files, images, you name it. It's built to handle absolutely massive amounts of information, which is perfect for what we're doing. So what's the actual plan? It's pretty straightforward. First, we grab our data from a source called Kaggle. Second, we upload all those files straight into our new data lake on AWS, which is a service called S3. And third, just for a little bit of sanity, we'll put the files into folders based on what country they're from. Sounds easy enough, right? So our data lake is full. Our tools are all warmed up. We go to ask our very first super simple question, and bam, it breaks. The computer just throws its hands up and says, nope, not going to do it. So what on earth went wrong? We got this lovely, totally cryptic error message. Now, you don't have to be a programmer to understand this. The key thing here is that our analysis tool, called Amazon Athena, took one look at one of our files, a JSON file with the video categories, and had absolutely no clue how to read it. It was like we handed it a book written in a completely alien language. And here's the culprit. The file was formatted to be pretty, with nice indents and line breaks so a human developer could read it easily. But the machine needed something much, much stricter. It expected a single, unbroken line of text for each piece of data. Our attempt to be neat and tidy actually broke the whole system. So how do we fix this? I mean, we're not going to open up thousands of files and fix them by hand. That's insane. No, we're going to do what data engineers do. We're going to build a smart, automated assembly line, a data pipeline that cleans the data for us the second it shows up. And the star of our new pipeline is a service called AWS Lambda. Honestly, the best way to think about a Lambda is as a tiny, specialized robot. It just sits there doing nothing until an event happens, like a new file arriving. Then it instantly wakes up, runs its code, does its one specific job, and goes back to sleep. It's incredibly efficient. So check out how slick this new workflow is. A messy, raw file lands in our raw bucket. That arrival acts like a tripwire and instantly triggers our Lambda robot. The robot wakes up, grabs the file, cleans it up, reformats it, and then places the new, sparkling clean version into a totally separate cleansed bucket. It's a beautiful, hands-off, automated process.
And that, my friends, brings us to the payoff. The automated pipeline is built, it's running, and it works like a charm. So now it's time for the really satisfying part. Let's look at the before and after.
So here's the before. This is that messy, human-readable file. You can see how the really important stuff, like the category ID and the title, is buried deep inside that nested items structure. It was all that complexity that was choking our analysis tool. And voila! Here is the beautiful after. Would you look at that? Our little Lambda robot reached into that messy file, pulled out only the information we cared about, and laid it all out in a perfect, flat table. Simple rows and columns. This is data that a computer can read and understand in a fraction of a second. And that, right there, is a massive win. We have successfully built an automated pipeline that takes completely unusable raw data and transforms it into a valuable, queryable asset. Our Insight Factory is officially open for business. So, we've built the machine. We've gone on the complete data engineering journey, from chaos to clarity. Now the real fun begins. We can finally start asking our questions. So what secrets about going viral is this data finally going to tell us? Well, that's a story for another time.